The resurrection of Christ took place to open our Agya center, because it was a very subtle center, as you know, very complicated, with the ideas people had from their conditioning and from their ego, where so much clogging the Agya Chakra that Kundalini could have been impossible to pass through. So all the play of resurrection took place. And as Christ was nothing but Chaitanya, he was resurrected from death, so-called. In this death of Christ, we have to also understand that we have achieved our resurrection. We have achieved our resurrection. Also, whatever was supposed to be the past has died, is finished now. So, this repentance that we have, the conditionings we have are dead. But still it is very surprising that among the Christian nations, the ego did not subside as it should have been. Perhaps may be that Christ was never worshipped in the right way. The ego in the West was absolutely so dominating that nobody could see what they are doing and how far they are going. Unnecessarily they are repenting about something that is far-fetched. But repentance was meant for our ego. It's very shocking sometimes when you see how the Christian nations invaded other countries, completely annihilated, completely finished and destroyed, races after races. They were Christians, followers of Christ, taking Bible in their hand. Can you imagine such a horrible things these so-called Christians have done in the name of Christ? Why is it we have to understand this ego worked so much in the Western countries or in the countries where they followed Christianity? Anywhere, if they are Christians, they are extremely aggressive, extremely violent, and they think that the whole world belongs to them. Even Hitler believed in the Catholic religion. Sort of this great sacrifice of Christ never taught them any lesson, as if it was all obliterated from their memory, as if it has no meaning to them, it conveyed nothing to them, and they became so violent. Not only that, but they thought they have a right to rule the whole world, plunder everyone, destroy everyone. Why? Because they were Christians. What a contrast it is to the life of Christ, who resurrected out of the so-called death. But the ego still remained, not only, but it grew up to such an extent that today we see the Christians have lost their sense of maryadas completely. The way the Christian churches are behaving is shocking. There is no morality of any kind left. No respect for law, no respect for God, no respect also for the chastity, which was the main point of Christ, main guna of Christ. This shocked me when I was a child. As I was born in a Christian family, and I found the Christians in India the most dogmatic, most dominating people. And it surprised me. How have they taken Christ for granted, and why are they using his name to dominate others? Unfortunately, at that time, we had the British ruling us. British also maneuvered the whole thing in such a manner that the Indians believed that Christ was born in England. They used to dress up like English. They called themselves Sahabs. They used to behave in a very arrogant manner. And they had places in the government. They joined hands with government, had no loyalties to Indians. Even when my father was arrested, they threw us out of the Christian government. They threw me out of the school when I was just a 6-7-year-old girl because my father was a congressman. So this side of Christianity, so far nobody has seen, I personally think, that all the Christian nations have been extremely cruel, extremely dominating, and they are today at the helm of affairs. This subtle ego has now, which was once the property of some monarchs, but has now in democratic countries have become very much available to all the ordinary people, and all these countries we find are full of destruction. It's not only that the European did like this, but even Americans are extremely dominating, extremely egoistical, to such an extent that idiotic. Imagine they follow Christ, who was wisdom, the source of wisdom, and his disciples should be so stupid and idiotic cannot be explained. Why it happens like that? So we have to see to the history of religion, that is Christianity. There was, as you know, Peter. Peter was a very egoistical fellow, and once Christ said that you are a Satan, said it clearly, and also said that you will deny me. That's the time this fall came up, and he thought it's a very good chance to get hold of somebody who is a weak person, who is satanic, who is in a way antichrist. And he found Peter. He, being a great bureaucrat, wooed him, managed him, and took him into his own class and told him that you join hands with me, so I will make you the main person. And then he told all the other disciples that you are not so educated. I am a great educated man, and I know what to write, what not to write. So we shouldn't write all the things that you have written, we should edit it. He edited the Bible, this sinister fellow, Paul. He edited the Bible. The whole work of Christ went into the hands of this devil. He started editing it. And when he edited, if you read him, you'll be surprised. It's full of ego. He's organizing, he's full of ego, whatever he writes, absolutely. But he cut down many things which should have been there. Christ must have mentioned about Kundalini, I'm sure.